Silks, the virtual horse racing goldmine. When something looks too good to be true, do your research since social media is chock full of people pushing the next big thing in the crypto tech and even fashion industries. Nevertheless, in an age where influencers are constantly promoting stuff, it's more difficult than ever to determine why the hottest new thing is so hot. Is the virality natural or made up? Is it true that a certain cryptocurrency has changed people's lives, or is it just a strategic way for the company to fill its pockets? The Game of Silk team's NFT racetrack, the unique offering the Silk NFT project gives, the interaction between the different collections of NFTs, the sales, and lastly, how this project pushes the real world closer to Web 3.0 will all be covered in this video. If you've been following our channel for quite a while now, you'll know that we at Home Crypto cut through the hype and PR to find out what actually makes these hot crypto projects so popular. Our team explores the internet day and night for potentially life-changing cryptos, but with a skeptical eye and the wise advice of Flavor Flav in our hearts, we don't believe the hype and question if these projects are deserving of the attention. Silks has some promise to it because it's a project that aims to use blockchain technology to create a first-of-its-kind unique gaming experience by blending Web3 technology, real-world data, and the play-to-earn approach together to make thoroughbred racehorse ownership accessible to the general public. But what makes Silks better than other projects and deserving of the hype? Let's find out. What makes Silks worth the hype? The first derivative play-to-earn metaverse, Game of Silks, or Silks for short, is based on the real world of thoroughbred horse racing. The Silks metaverse will be driven by a play-to-earn economy in which you can own, trade, and interact with a variety of in-game NFTs, earn prizes through skillful gameplay, and experience the pleasure of owning your own thoroughbred horse both virtually and in the real world. Dan Nisanoff and Troy Levy, co-founders of Game of Silks, debuted the project back in June 2021. Since then, their plan has been to use a unique model and a blockchain-enabled metaverse to digitally reproduce and tokenize the top real-world one-year-old thoroughbred racehorses registered in the United States, which will then be marketed as Silks Horses NFTs. These one-of-a-kind Silks Horse NFTs will then follow their real-world counterparts as bloodlines, training progress, and racing success, rewarding owners with valuable tokens as they win races and breed offspring. This is the actual unique aspect of Silks, Tropical Racing Incorporated, a multifaceted thoroughbred horse breeding and racing firm run by CEO Troy Levy, who is also a co-founder of Game of Silks, has been helpful in the project's strategic and financial backing. Tropical Racing's main source of revenue comes from the breeding, racing, pinhooking, and distribution of young thoroughbreds. The strategic relationship and investment in Game of Silks was spurred by Tropical Racing's vision and business spirit to help define the future of thoroughbred racing in the metaverse. Tropical Racing owns and operates a 200-acre horse farm where thoroughbred racehorses are bred, raced, pinhooked, and distributed. Dan Nisanoff, CEO and co-founder of Game of Silks, thinks that by merging these real-world dynamics with Web3 technology, the company will be able to create mixed reality entertainment that will set it apart from other NFT efforts. Having a public thoroughbred racing company as a strategic partner not only gives the project validity, but it also provides a starting point for attracting more people and providing an exciting experience for horse racing. Silks has already laid the groundwork for its metaverse, releasing its first NFT product, the Silks Genesis Avatar Collection, on April 27th. Silks avatars are crucial to the project since they symbolize a user's unique identity, as well as ownership of in-game assets within the Silks metaverse. Silks NFT offer a library of 10,000 Silks Genesis avatars in race suits that have been patiently waiting in the Silks metaverse. By bridging the gap between the real world and the crypto world, Game of Silks' concept breaks the limitations of what can be achieved with NFTs. The Silks metaverse is rich and diverse with avatars, horses, lands, and stables all existing as NFTs. These Silk Genesis avatars will compete in online metaversal horse races, award tokens to their owners, and contribute to the play-to-earn economy's ever-growing market. But what is Silks exactly? What is Silks? Silks is a blockchain-enabled play-to-earn metaverse game that provides a rich virtual environment where you can interact with different in-game NFT assets as well as thrilling gaming elements based on thoroughbred horse racing. Each of the game's featured horses is linked to a real-world thoroughbred racehorse, making it a one-of-a-kind experience unlike anything you've ever seen before. These links are at the heart of how Silks players can earn prizes. So essentially how it'll work is when a horse wins a race in real life, the owner of the Silks horse that won the race will earn a prize in STT, the game's native transactional currency. Other imaginative gameplay techniques such as staking and breeding will also be used to distribute rewards, allowing Silk users to earn a steady income from their in-game activities. It's important to note that all of the prizes for Silk's horse race owners will be given an STT, which can then be used to buy anything on the secondary market. There's also SLK, the game's governance token. This metaverse, according to the white paper, will be administered by a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, with SLK token holders voting on proposed platform improvements. So yes, SLK is equally as important as STT. Plus, both of these can be traded with one another, so it doesn't matter which token you have, you can trade one for the other depending on what you want to do in Silks. Mining is also an important part of the Silks ecosystem. Decentralized databases containing information on each thoroughbred's pedigree, development progress, and racing outcomes are utilized to achieve this one-to-one relationship between Silk horses and their real-world counterparts. Miners use a proof-of-stake consensus technique to validate data, and mining rewards are paid in SLK. A POS consensus mechanism is a technique for verifying and securing entries in a distributed database. As a result, the first datasets will be centralized when Silks launches, but as the Silks metaverse grows, these datasets will become completely decentralized. In the end, this mining technique will provide a steady source of income for many members of the community. NFTs are an important part of the Silks metaverse. Why? To begin with, both the avatars and the horses are designated and built as NFTs. Before you can buy a Silks horse, you must first own a Silks avatar, as these avatars are used to identify participants in the Silks metaverse. The very first Silks horse crop will be out in mid-2022. That being said, succeeding harvests will be minted yearly to correspond with the registration of yearlings, which are similar to one-year-old thoroughbred horses in the actual world. All horse NFTs will be sold in a blind auction, which means that every player, regardless of their financial condition, will have the opportunity to buy an expensive horse. Because there will be a limited quantity of virtual land in the Silks metaverse, users will be able to purchase 1 acre plots designed as NFTs. This land is required to set up stables for Silks horses and can be acquired using STT. In the future, Silk's development team has outlined plans to expand the Silks metaverse with more structures and player roles, allowing sub-economies to form among like-minded community members. The Silks roadmap outlines plans for the public distribution of Silks avatars in the second quarter of 2022. The first public sale of Silks horses will take place in the third quarter of this year, followed by land and stables for sale. The fourth quarter of this year is set for metaverse registration and on-ramping, allowing Silks users to earn racing and breeding prizes. But why should you be interested in Silks in particular? Allow us to make our case. Silks is a one-of-a-kind metaverse. Silks is a play-to-earn metaverse game that allows users to experience the pleasure of owning thoroughbred racehorses in a virtual environment. A variety of in-game NFT assets are available for players to acquire, trade, and interact with. You can also earn tokens by showcasing your gaming skills and participating in the Silks ecosystem to earn their tokens. Each Silks horse is deeply linked to a real-life thoroughbred horse, which makes the whole project really unique. A Silks horse will track real-time data about its real-world counterparts' bloodlines, training progress, and racing performances using this innovative technique. Additionally, the owner of the Silks horse will receive tokens every time the racehorse wins a race or has little horse babies in the real world. Silks also has a number of additional NFTs besides avatars and horses. The Silks metaverse, for example, will span 202,500 acres of virtual land, and each piece of land will have an NFT, which is where the participants will develop their horse farms. Another sort of NFT in the Silks ecosystem is stables, which are the key components needed to run a horse farm in the game. Conclusion. Lands and stables will be released in Q3 of 2022 according to the project's roadmap. In Q4, you'll be able to register for the metaverse. Finally, in Q1 of 2023, the metaverse will become online. Overall, Silks appears to be an interesting metaverse project to keep an eye on, particularly because of its derivative play-to-earn structure. Those interested in the game will have a lot to look forward to in the future, with plans to introduce more player roles and NFT assets. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on new videos. Please let us know if you believe Silks lives up to its hype in the comments section below. If you'd like to know how this project differs from other unique projects, click on the pop-up banner to check out our video on UFO gaming.